eagerness, more sincerity, following the instructions of our acharyas more and more to the core of the heart. Hope this becomes our life and soul. May this life should be the last life before heading back to the spiritual world. May you all aspire for that consciousness. May you all desire for that. May you all be free from this material inebrities of this world. May you all fully be engrossed in the process of pure devotional service. May you all completely give up the tangibility, the inexistence of this world. Hare Krishna. May Srimati Radharani help all of us to move forward and serve just like a pebble, just like a squirrel who is, when Lord Ramachandra is building that bridge, all his devotees, all his Vanara Sena, all of them, including Hanumanji, Vanara Sena is actually helping to build that bridge. They're all chanting the names of Lord Ramachandra. Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram. They're chanting the names of Sita Devi and also Lord Ramachandra. And through that chanting, they're all doing services joyfully, continuously. It's a huge bridge. Ramayanam explains it's a huge bridge. And then millions of Vanarasena is actually marching towards Lanka. Huge bridge. And then through that huge bridge, there's a small squirrel. She's also trying to do some service. And then Hanumanji immediately comes and then he says, just stay aside because we are building the bridge. You just stay aside from this place. And then Lord Ramachandra would see that and then he immediately says, Hanuman, no, 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 she's also doing service. She's also trying to do some service. She's also trying to bring some small stones. She's also helping me. Please don't say like that. So why am I telling this is, doesn't matter big or small. Krishna is not seeing that. They're actually seeing the attitude and the consciousness with which we are doing. The squirrel had that beautiful consciousness to serve the Lord. Very divine. And then Lord Ramachandra touched on the body of the squirrel. And then you see the marks. Even now, the squirrel has those marks. He caressed, he glanced, he touched gently on the squirrel after doing that service. So that glance and then that touch is also given to us. The attitude of squirrel is what our Acharya Srimati Radharani is expecting from us actually. Doesn't matter what service we do, if we do that with the attitude which squirrel has done it, then we are sheltered and protected in this world. Now, a question always comes. Now, I'll give an example of how this question. A person goes to the temple and then he sleeps in front of the deities and then he goes away after that. And then after that, Srimati Radharani is recommending to Krishna that you see, this person, he cleaned the temple. No, Krishna is asking in what way he cleaned the temple. And then she immediately tells, he slept. The place where he slept, there was dust. And then that dust got connected to his body. That means he technically cleaned that place. No, this is the attitude which they manifest, which Srimati Radharani is manifesting. She always puts the other person on the top. That's the nature. She tells, oh, he's doing great service. Then all of us, you see, we are so many people here. Srimati Radharani and her Sakhis, her Ashta Sakhis, and then her intimate Manjaris who are doing intimate service to the Sakhis and Srimati Radharani. And she's telling, they're doing, is that person did so great service than all of us? Now he should be given priority. He should be sent first. He is a source for that. Please, 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 please send him, or please give him the mercy. Actually, when we think about this, I always feel that it is this who is actually, it is this person's prayers, it's this person's mercy, these exalted Vaishnavas propounding, beginning from Srimati Radharani, these exalted personalities. It is mere through their mere mercy we are actually getting this. Please understand this. It is only that mere mercy. There's nothing else actually. When we closely observe this, the mercy which is propounding in this creation is that mercy which is actually helping us to move forward in our Krishna country. It is not that we got initiated or I got initiated on so and so year, first initiation, second initiation, now I took Vanaprastha, now I took sannyas, so it is through my caliber. That's how it has been working. That's how I'm able to chant. That's how I'm able to hear. That's how I'm able to read. Oh, no, 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 no. Actually, a devotee never thinks that he is actually a devotee. That person is a devotee. He's never proclaiming himself that, oh, you see, I've chanted so many rounds. Just like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Srila Prabhupada, he chanted for 10 years, 192 rounds. He did not eat anything. He was sitting, he was sitting under a hut, chanted for 10 years before he went on to preach the mission of his spiritual master, of Lord Chaitanya. He chanted for 10 years. He never in his books or in his preaching or in his giving, he never proclaimed that, oh, it is through this. See, you see, I chanted for 10 years, 192 rounds. That's why I'm able to preach. Never seen that. Never seen that. Just like Srimati Radharani, she cooks every day one preparation and then she doesn't repeat the cook. She doesn't repeat that cooking. And then she never said, Krishna, you see, Krishna, I am making every day new preparations to you. I am a good devotee. She never proclaims that. You see, none of the acharyas are proclaiming that. Now, when we are proclaiming that, where are we? With what attitude and consciousness we are? Even though they gave up everything, at a moment, the gopis, at a moment in their life, dear devotees, not continuously, just a moment in their life, they felt that Krishna is only with me. Immediately, Krishna left from that place. Krishna doesn't stay in those places where they are feeling that Krishna is with me. Some falsity. Are falsigo means materialism. Falsigo means materialism, and then actually these personalities They help us become free from that. And these are the days where we should be completely absorbed in our consciousness that, my dear Lord, how can I do this? How can I find faults with others? No, they're all my brothers and sisters. How can I be duplicitous with them? No, this is the heart of these personalities. These personalities carry this heart, dear devotees. They're free from all the iniquities of this world. That's why they have Krishna with them. You see why Krishna is hankering for that, for these personalities association? Srimati Radharani, her Sakis and the Manjaris and their servants, Gopi Vartur Padakamali or Dasana Dasaha, Tava Brutta Brutta Brutta, Tava Brutta Sevya, Tava Brutta Brutta Brutta, Tava Brutta Sevya. Prahlad Maharaj is aspiring for that. I want your Brutya, your Brutya, 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 Brutya Sevya. See, when Lord Nrsingadev he comes and then he touches Prahlad Maharaj with his gentle hand. It's a gentle hand for the devotees, it's the ruthless hand for the demons. The same hand becomes gentle, the same hand becomes like a thunderbolt. It was a thunderbolt to Hiranyakashipu, the hand with which Lord Nrsingadev has ripped off the stomach and he removed everything that became like a thunderbolt to Hiranyakashipu, but the same hand became soft like a tender lotus petal to to Prahlad Maharaj. And then that Prahlad Maharaj is aspiring, Tava Bhritya 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 Tava Bhritya Sevya. This is the attitude. The Lord is so pleased actually. So pleased. Dear devotees, who can do Sankirtana? Sankirtana Priya. Who comes? Who gets that Sankirtana Priya? Who does this Sankirtana Priya? The person who has this attitude. I remember His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj during the installation of Radha Gopijan Ballabh in Farmington Hills. It was many years back. When I was there for that installation ceremony, I saw him coming from his car. And then the moment he came out of the car, he offered obeisances to all the devotees. There itself, my heart melted so much. What is this? This person is practicing since 50, 60 years, offering obeisances to a person who might have come yesterday to the movement, or who might not even a devotee, who just came to just hang around the temple. Those were also there. They're not like, they're not like practicing, they gave their life to the movement. No, to every person, he's offering obeisances. This is the heart. This is the heart of the day which we are discussing about the person, Srimati Radharani. The heart of these personalities we can see through the heart of pure devotees. That's what is the sloka, right? Today, one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. This is the heart of Srimati Radharani, dear devotees. This is the heart of her followers. This is the heart of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya was sitting right next to the place where they are cleaning the water. He says, I don't deserve to sit in the midst of all the sannyasis. I cannot sit there. How can I sit there? My place is here, on the floor, right next to the place where everyone is washing their hands and feet. I deserve to sit here. You know whose heart is this? Srimati Radharani. That is her heart. Trinada Bishnichena, Taroriva Sarishan, Manina Manadana, Kirtaniya Sadari. Unless and until this is established, we cannot move forward in Krishna consciousness. By hook or crook, we should do this. Should do this. You know how this principle can be followed easily? Okay, let me ask you, who would like to tell how this principle can be followed? Yes? Who wants to tell? Let us do some discussion. Who wants to who wants to unmute themselves and then tell how Trinadapi Sunichena Taroreva Seshnamani Namanadana Kirtane Sadhari can be followed in one's life and why we should follow that? Is that a requirement? Is that a need? Is that a necessity? Who would like to tell? Anyone would like to share their understanding? Who would like to tell?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hey Krishna, please Mataji, please tell.
So the question is, how does Trinadapi Sunichena Tarogapi Krishna Namanadina Manadina Kitaniya Sada? How does the sloka work in our life? Is it the question?
The question is, how can we follow that?
How can we follow that?
That seems to be easy. A tree does it. Straw in the street, grass does it. Giving respect is easy. That's not difficult. And the fourth thing is very easy. Not expecting any respect. Oh, wow, that's easiest thing in this creation. Do not have any expectation. Easy. A lot of devotees say, oh, Krishna consciousness is very difficult. Oh, no. It's very easy. It's very easy. Anyone else would like to add? Because it's important, dear devotees. Today is the day to discuss this.
Hare
I
Krishna.
somehow felt that this is so much important.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Yes, Bashmati Amma, please tell.
all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai, all glories Srila Prabhupada, please tell.
So Prabhuji, this is the instructions given by Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya. So we are the follower of Mahaprabhu, and he said Trinadapi Shunichana. So no respect, we should not expect any respect from anyone, but we'll do our service, and that's only possible when we submit ourselves to the lotus feet of the Guru and Krishna, and continuously engaging in his service. It is possible, but we have to give up our false ego, which is the enemy of in this path. So it is easy to say, but it is hard to follow. So Prabhuji, that's why continuous association of the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, we can do that if we have the desire, eagerness to do so.
Thank
That's
you.
understanding, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for that understanding. Anyone else would like to add anything? Who would like to add?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna, Subhato. Nice
Sorry,
to see
I
you,
had-
your tilak and everything. Very auspicious. Nice. Please tell.
Yes, Prabhuji, as Mataji's mentioned, with I mean, I generally follow like our Shivilas Prabhu mentioned, A, B, C, D, like association of devotees, books like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam reading, and chanting of the holy name with faith, as you Baswati Mataji mentioned, and with devotional service. Only these things will help Prabhuji. That's my understanding. Please correct me. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else? Please speak up. The reason why I'm asking is the more you speak up, the more the consciousness will open up. Yes, Vamshilas Prabhu,
Hare
please.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all
Jai,
glory to Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada,
Jai,
Guru
all good
Maharaj,
Srila
Happy
Prabhupada.
Radhashtami.
Jai.
Prabhuji, yeah, this is what I heard from Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, that every devotee we meet, we should treat them as if our spiritual life depends on our relationship with that person. So if we humble ourselves and treat them the best way we can, then that will help us improve and follow these great verses from Mahaprabhu.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Who else would like to add? Yes, Madhva Krishna Prabhu, please tell.
Yes, Prabhuji. So I think I echo Basmati Mataji's and Sudhir Prabhu's and Vamsivilas Prabhu's points. And if you want to advance in Krishna consciousness, then this is the step. This is the first step that you have to follow. I mean, submissiveness. Uh, that is the greatest step that you want to follow advancement in Krishna consciousness.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Please think, please think, please think.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Dipali Amma, please tell.
So, as Baswati Mataji said, our false ego keeps coming in between. Although we want to practice this path, I mean, in temple, because where if you go to uh, meet devotees or
Mhm.
around devotees,
Mhm.
we are always in the association. So we reinforce our mind to be on these teachings. So it gets easy. But if we step out in the material world, somehow we tend to use our own mind and intelligence. uh, but as you said, how Radhanath Swami treats everyone humbly, independent of if that person is from outside or not. We also need to bring these teachings into our life outside the spiritual surrounding or the material world we are mixing up with. Many of the times, my experience with this, I try to find material solutions for material problems, but it doesn't work. So, yes.
Very nice, very nice. Material solutions for material problems. Wow. That's how this world is designed. Actually, Trina, yes, Sushil Mataji, please tell.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Two points that comes into my thought. Hearing attentively and then prayers to requesting the Lordship and Guru to somehow give the intelligence to understand what I'm hearing, what I can contemplate on what I'm hearing. So that gives at least to think about submissiveness is to share Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Actually, everything as we discussed about how the squirrel is actually received the mercy of Lord Ramachandra, how Jagai and Madhav received the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how Srila Prabhupada received the mercy from his spiritual master and Srimati Radharani because he prays to Srimati Radharani while he is in Jaladuta. He prays to his spiritual master while he is in Jaladuta. So, if we closely observe how the mercy is coming is through our utmost submission, through our utmost submission to the process. And when we see these personalities, their attitude, just like we have discussed an attitude of Srimati Radharani, the person is just sleeping on the floor. And then she's telling, oh, he has cleaned up the temple. In one way, she's actually focusing on an aspect that at least he came to the temple. And he's not doing, he might not be doing any service. He might just slept. Externally, when we see it, yes, he's just sleeping. He's just sleeping there, completely engrossed. But even through that, she's finding some ways and means. She's trying to connect. That is a great service, dear devotees. What Srimati Radharani and all her associates are doing in this world, it's a great service. You know what is the greatest service? To pull the conditioned soul from this world and then place him in the platform of pure devotion service. That's the greatest service. That is the reason why Krishna is very pleased with those devotees who does that, who takes this to the heart. Krishna personally manifested the same thing. Krishna told Arjuna that if I don't do this, people will not follow. And then he personally, through his example, he goes to a spiritual master. He follows the instructions. He learns the science. He shows us through his life. That same person comes as Lord Chaitanya. He also repeats the same thing. He goes to Ishwarapuri and then Ishwarapuri chastises him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, my spiritual master seen me a fool. Seen a fool in me. And then he said, I'm a fool. And then he told me to just do this. Give up everything. And then he did it. Again, we see through the life of Srila Prabhupada. Again repeating the same thing. The spiritual master told him something. He's doing the same thing. Now he's waiting, he's begging, he's praying to Srimati Radharani, please give me this, because somehow I have to please my spiritual master. I have no other option. Please, Srimati Radharani, please help me. In the Jaladuta, he was alone. He was praying. In the room of Sri Sri Radha Damodarji temple, he's praying to the Lord, please help me. A lot of devotees would ask this question. You say a lot of times that relationship. How is a relationship is established? This is a way. To what Bhaswati Mataji said, to what Deepali Mataji said, to what Sushilpa Mataji said, to what Vamshiraj Prabhu said, to what Subal Prabhu is speaking. These are all the things, dear devotees. It all comes through our attitude. Trinadapi Sunichana, not just that, everything which is there, which we discussed yesterday. What we discussed yesterday, Srila Prabhupada said, right? What did he said? He said every instruction you should follow, just core to the heart. You cannot omit anything. One time devotees were reading Nectar of Devotion and then they started going to Srila Prabhupada and asking Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, Can you explain this? We have a doubt here, we have a doubt there, we have this, we have that problem. We couldn't understand what you have written here. So Srila Prabhupada immediately said, you go on continuing, all your doubts will be cleared. So don't come to me with these small doubts. You just go on continue. Krishna will reveal everything. The words, they will reveal everything. I will reveal it to you. Please go on continuing, reading. Go on doing that. Don't come to me every 5 minutes. Go on, continue. Now, why am I telling this is because the principle of Trinada Visunica, Taroriva Sesha, Amanya, Kirtaniya Sadahari, the desire, if you really have a desire to do Kirtaniya Sadahari, if you really have a desire to chant continuously Kirtaniya, just like sun is coming into our life. Now I can close the blinds and then says, though there is no sun. But the moment we open up the blinds, if we have the desire to have the association of the sun, to take his energy, then we open it up. Then the sun comes. For us, it is not yet there. So it comes. What is that? That's the desire to see the sunlight. So likewise, what kind of desire we should have? Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Because that Kirtana, it gives satisfaction, solace to the heart. Yesterday I had an opportunity to associate with devotees and then chant. Not on Zoom, this is Zoom. Personal. And can also feel personal through Zoom. But the personal, when the devotees are together, then we chanted for 1 hour. It was so happy. We discussed for like another 45 to 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour. We felt so happy, solace to the heart. Because I felt at that moment, this Krishna consciousness is how is this happiness coming? How is this manifesting in our heart? How are we feeling that we should be? Who is giving this happiness? Kidhar se aa raha hai? From who is giving this satisfaction to the heart? When we follow this thing, Trinada Pisunichena, Taruriva Saishana, Amane, giving respect to the other devotee. If they are giving respect, we should give the respect to our spiritual master. Because they are also hearing the truth. They want to, just like we want to give respect, they also want to give respect. Just like the gopis, they came. I'm just thinking to like tell the son also. Okay, I'll tell. I'll do some daring. So just like the gopis, they were dressed up so beautifully for the pleasure of Krishna. Then they would go and meet. And then the Lord, the moment he sees them, he's so happy seeing them. No, just by seeing the happiness of the Lord, these personalities, their happiness increased. Now, after seeing their happiness increased, Krishna would see them again, and then his happiness increased. And then likewise again, their happiness increased. His happiness increased. It's going on continuously like this. So likewise, dear devotees, among ourselves, we should have this attitude. We should appreciate the other devotee by seeing that appreciation. When he appreciates us, we should give that appreciation to our superiors, to our spiritual master. When we do that, and then the appreciation should be genuine. Please understand, dear devotee, this is not that we are following a principle, Trinala Pisunichena, Taroreva Saishna, Amanina Maradena. That's why I'm kind of appreciating the other one. No, it should come from the heart. Dear devotees, if you do everything from the heart, you feel inspired. The satisfaction comes through that. Otherwise, the satisfaction will not come because we are not doing it with the heart. Otherwise, a material solution will not give it, just like material solution will not give tangibility to the material problems. Likewise, our conception should not be like that. Our conception should be what? If I do this, they will be happy. And I really genuinely want to do that. Just like Srimati Radharani, she genuinely submitting to Krishna that, you see, this person has slept on the floor, he cleaned up the temple. See that attitude. I always think that it might take millions of lifetimes to get this consciousness. Just like we discussed yesterday, Lakshmi Devi, she is actually aspiring for that, to see that, to participate in that program. She's on the other side of Jamuna. She was able to watch, but she cannot participate in that. Just see, dear devotees, you're seeing something, but you cannot do it. You know what would go through into our consciousness? Just like you're right next to there. For example, if you put one step here, then your destination is there. But at that moment, you cannot put that step. Somehow your body is not accustomed for doing that. You know how you feel? You want to do that, but you cannot do it. You want to follow, but we cannot follow. It's like a difficult state. Lakshmi Devi was going through the difficult state. She wanted to participate in that program, but she cannot because she's not allowed. Lord Shiva wanted to participate. Narada Muni wanted to participate. Lord Shiva transformed his body to participate in that. He got the access. These personalities are not getting the access. And that access, Srila Prabhupada wanted to give us as is. Just see, what is this? What is this, dear devotees? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you just follow this Baba, I will give you access. So you just follow Trinada Pisunicha. And I'll give you the attitude of Kirtaniya Sadahari. Continuously you can chant Hare Krishna. Continuously you can be in that absorption. Continuously you can do this. Dear devotees, please think about this. When there is no continuity, then the process slackens. See, the qualities which we are trying to discuss or trying to cultivate, these are the qualities which we already have. Please don't think that these are like Greek and Latin concepts. These are already there, dear devotees. These are already there in our heart. In our consciousness, these are already there. Trinada Pisunicha, it's already there. But it's hidden. Why? Because the false ego doesn't allow us to give respect to others. And Srimati Radharani is the epitome for that. Our acharyas are the epitome for that. They have the solution. They have the ways and means for that. They are doing it. Hare Krishna. So this science is the greatest science. Not these bodies, dear devotees. Not these bodies actually. What is this body? There's nothing. There's no existence actually. There's no existence to this. There's no existence. This is making a fool. It's actually fooling us that we are this. We're not this. When there's a problem to this, we feel dejected. When everything is going on, we feel happy. It's keeping us in that brackets. That this is not there, let me do this. This is not there, let me do that. Let me aspire for this, let me aspire for that. It's actually keeping us in dualism. Which is a deep problem. Now, let us discuss this example of Parikshit Maharaj, of how beautiful this process is. Parikshit Maharaj, through the association of Yudhishthira Maharaj trained him up in the science of how to rule the kingdom. Because he is a pure devotee. So after receiving the training from Yudhishthira Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj began to rule. Similar ruling is done by Bharat Maharaj also. Bharat Maharaj, he carries the Paduka of Lord Ramachandra. And then he keeps the Paduka in his kingdom. And then he's sitting on the floor. He's technically the king, but he keeps the Paduka of Lord Ramachandra on the throne. Through that Paduka, he is actually depending on the Lord, depending on his mercy, he is giving suggestions to everyone of how to rule the place. All those years where Lord Ramachandra was not there, Bharat Maharaj ruled. In Ramayana, Valmiki clearly explains that this personality, what he has done even though everyone were against him. Because they were kind of feeling that it is only through him Lord Ramachandra went. Even though people were against him, but still he was ruling it. That means they are not giving respect, but he is giving that respect. What is he doing? Bharat Maharaj, nobody was giving him respect. But what is he doing? He's not envious towards them. What is he doing? He is giving respect to them. The attitude of Trinadapi is there at that time also. And the Lord was so pleased. And then he gives a check or a test. He sends Hanumanji at the end of that tenure. You go and check Bharat Maharaj. If his attitude is right, then only he'll come, otherwise I'll not come. If he somehow feels that, oh, why Lord Ramachandra is coming? Because I'm ruling the kingdom now, I'm established. Now, why is he coming? If he feels in that way, I will not come, I will not go to this place. Then that is the reason why Hanumanji was being sent there. Now Hanumanji goes. And then Bharat Maharaj was so happy seeing Hanumanji. And then he immediately requested, when is he coming? Please. He cannot stay in separation of Lord Ramachandra. Cannot stay. Please. Please ask him to come soon. This life is useless without his presence. Please give this opportunity so that we can serve him personally. Please, Hanumanji, please send him. And he started asking, what did Lord Ramachandra did? What happened? Where is Mother Sita? Is everyone all right? The same consciousness we see when Srimati Radharani and all the gopis would meet Krishna in Kurukshetra. 100 years we are away from you. Here Bharat Maharaj was less number of years. But there's no difference. They're all pure souls. They do not know anything else other than the Lord. They do not have any of these propensities. They're completely absorbed in their consciousness. Mat Mamanusmaryajacha. Maya Sakta Manapartayam Junjum Madashrasam Sayam Samagraham Itagna Shashitat Shrunu. Where Krishna is telling Arjuna that cultivate asakti on me. Now these exalted personalities, they're watching Krishna, they're seeing Krishna, they're seeing the presence of Krishna in Kurukshetra. They couldn't able to fathom because Krishna is within a kingly dress. They couldn't understand, they couldn't reciprocate. They're just staring him, they're just staring at him. Couldn't connect to him. Then he changes his attire. After changing his attire, when he becomes a cowherd boy, then they got connected. This is love, dear devotees. Devotion means love. Krishna is there. His associates are there. Their qualities are there. Actually, they are our life and soul. This we need to aspire. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he descended that consciousness. Who's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Is Krishna personally came. Actually, this Krishna is more enchanting. You know why? This Krishna is more enchanting? Because this Krishna represents the heart of Srimati Radharani. Because he himself, he wants to understand, what is she experiencing? She's always joyful. How is she always joyful? How is she always happy? How are all these manjaris and these gopis, how are these personalities, they're all happy? Who are these personalities? He wanted to experience that. And then not just Lord Chaitanya, not just Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya, all his associates, they came as, all those manjaris or gopis, they came as the associates of Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna. So beautiful. That means the entire Goloka manifested 500 years ago, dear devotees, in this world. Entire Goloka manifested. Sankirtan, Nam Sankirtan. Through Nam Sankirtan, everything got manifested. Because not just Krishna, every other person, they also aspired for that. Because when Krishna goes, do they stay? They also come. So they cannot stay in separation of Krishna, just like Krishna cannot stay in separation of his associates. When we see this, I always think, what aspiration we should do to get that consciousness? What do we aspire for? I always think about myself. No qualities actually. No qualities. Just see these personalities. When Krishna is coming, they also want to come. And then see, even these personalities, when Krishna is not there, they want to come. Prabhupada. Prabhupada descended from the spiritual world. Now Krishna is not here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also left. He's not here, but he wants to come. Baba. Those personalities, when Krishna descended as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his associates, they also descended with him because Krishna came. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, they also left. But here, this personality, Srila Prabhupada, or His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he descended into this world when none of these personalities are there. What kind of consciousness is this? Just see the service attitude. We want to do that service, independent of all of these personalities. These personalities are not there. Are they not there? Are they there, dear devotees? They are there in his heart. They might not be there physically, externally, but they are there in the heart of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has been asked, Swamiji, you're alone. No, 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 I'm never alone. I'm always there with them. I'm always there with my spiritual master. I'm always there with Lord Chaitanya. I'm always there with his associates. I'm always through their prayers, through their mood, through the attitude. They're always there with me. This is a mood which they are carrying. Hare Krishna. This is the life and soul, dear devotees. Please think about this. They gave us everything actually. Everything is there in these books. Everything is there. Sab kuch hai isme. Everything is there. All we need is right association and then move forward in Krishna consciousness. Our association should be right. Our association should never be to discuss any material things of this world. Because it doesn't have any. Money is required only to maintain this body. Maintain, have some apartment, stay there, lead a simple life. Money should be only used for that. Yesterday, a devotee was asking a question. The question is, when one becomes simple, when one has a simple life, just like Srila Prabhupada told us, simple living and high thinking, when one really takes that simple living and high thinking, that means you save up so much. That's a question. It's a simple question. That means when you don't go out, I mean, don't go out in the sense, don't go for like lavish living, like go to this place, that place, go for some vacation spot, go to like Bahamas. When you don't do that, when you lead a simple life, as per Guru Sadhu and Shastra, that means you work, when you save up so much. You don't go to the restaurants, you don't eat out. You just eat only Krishna Prasad. You just chant Hare Krishna, follow the principles, do the services. Then you save up. What do you do after saving them up? That was the question. This is the honest question, actually. See, devotees, when they ask those questions, I see their simplicity. They're very simple at their life. They're very simple at their heart. That question also tells us what is their heart is. No, they were very simple. The answer, when you save up lot, what the immediate thing will come? To use them in the service of the Lord, use them in the service of the spiritual master. Period. Very simple. But to come to that state, it will take time. The conviction has to be established. Because these are all the services which pleases Srila Prabhupada so much. That was the whole point of establishing the movement. That was the whole point of telling that Varnashrama Dharma is very important. And he said, 50% of my thing is not yet completed. That is true fact actually. Chaturvarnam maya shishtam guna karma vibhagasaha. And some communities, they are doing it. I know our Mongol community is doing it. They're following the Varnashrama Dharma. They're doing it. How? Through relationships. Those devotees, they do not have anything in their life. They just do Shravana Kirtana. They just do their services all day. Go to the farm, cultivate the vegetables, go to the another place in the farm, take care of the cows, go to the another place of the farm, take care of other things in the farm. That Varnashrama is established, and then they're so happy. When we go and talk to them, they say, For them, surrender is like they're far away from surrender. They're in the state of pure devotion. They're ready to go to the spiritual world. The moment they leave their bodies, they're ready to go to the spiritual world. Why? Because that thing is established. So, to the point of that, the simple living and high thinking, when we understand that and when we follow, then only we get realizations. And I'll tell one more thing, which is very important in today's discussion. Krishna, he asks us, he says, first you do sarvadharman parityajat mamekam sharanam. You surrender first, then only I'll come. He tells Arjuna, not just Arjuna, to everyone. He tells, first do you surrender, then you see reciprocations. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers are so merciful. They say that you are not in the state of surrender. Don't worry. Here, you understand. Slowly, slowly, you come to that state. I'm there. Don't worry. Don't worry. Relax. Relax. Be happy. Relax. Slowly, you come to that state. If you actually see, Krishna did not speak a word unless Arjuna came to that state. No, Krishna was very strict. Krishna is strict. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came with the heart of Srimati Radharani. Mother is not that strict. Father is strict. You see the heart of mother, she's not strict. And she said, the person who is sleeping on the floor is cleaning the temple. She's not strict. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not strict. Namo Mavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanyaya Namya Gaudata Shenam. They are not strict, but they are requesting. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is begging. He goes to the every door and then he knocks the door. And then likewise, he goes to one door. He knocks the door and then they open up the door. They don't see anyone because it's pitch dark early in the morning. Again, he knocks the door. Who is knocking the door? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Again, he's knocking the door. Again, they open. Again, they don't see anyone. This goes on like this for a few times, and then finally they would see, what's going on? And then they would see a person lying on the floor. Person is lying on the floor. Then they say, Swamiji, is there some Swami lying on the floor? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, chant Hare Krishna. Take this process of Krishna consciousness. Do Shravana Kirtana. Please take this process. He's offering obeisances on the floor. Hare Krishna. Cannot understand this, cannot understand this, dear devotees. Their heart, their life and soul. What is this? With love, he's transforming the heart. With their gestures. Just by sitting on the floor, all those impersonalist sannyasis, their heart got transformed. Prakashananda Saraswati, he gets up from that place and then he comes to Lord Chaitanya and then takes him there. Then he says, Swamiji, you cannot sit there. My heart is melting. I cannot see you sitting there. Please sit here. Please sit here. This is Lord Chaitanya. This is the heart of Srimati Radharani. Krishna Krishna Ashli Seva Padaratam Pinastamam. When Trinada Pisunichana comes, then next, at the end, Ashlishava Padaratam Pinastama. You can do whatever you want with me. This is what we need to aspire. Dear devotees, it might look little difficult, dear devotees, for all of these things, but they are not difficult. If we submit fully to the instructions of our acharyas, I assure you they're not difficult. They're not difficult. They are not difficult. It's a joyful process. Now, a lot of people they're asking, "Oh, Prabhu, आपका क्या होगा? आप तो नौकरी छोड़ रहे, यू आर लिविंग द जॉब, क्या होगा आपका? फैमिली भी है आपको, तो ब्रह्मचारी थोड़ी है. You're not brahmachari, you're leaving everything. What's gonna happen? क्या होगा, क्या होगा?" Hare Krishna. Then we see this personality. What is? I always feel whatever has been happening in the life is nothing actually. It's nothing. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offering obeisances to those personalities. What Srila Prabhupada, he spoke. One time Srila Prabhupada was been asked, Swamiji, are you the guru of everyone? You're the Jagat Guru? All of them are telling, are you the Jagat Guru? And Prabhupada simply put his head down and then he said, I'm the servant of everyone. Actually, Maharaj says, he says, this is what touched my heart. Because I've seen so many people, but nobody was like this. No one was like this. Please understand, dear devotees. This science is so deep. He said, this melted my heart. The attitude of this person. He said, I'm servant of everyone. He put his head down, and then he spoke these words. Now I'll tell another example. One time Srila Prabhupada was in, I think it's in Germany. They are doing a yajna. And then Prabhupada said, Prabhupada is requesting, Prabhupada is doing the yajna. Prabhupada is requesting, get me this fruits, get me those things, get me something else which is required for the yajna, get me ghee, so many other things. And then everybody is asking the temple president, and then temple president didn't know whether they are there or not. So none of those things are coming. Whatever Srila Prabhupada was asking, none of those things were coming. And Srila Prabhupada was furious towards his disciples. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. You're supposed to do yajna. I'm unable to do anything. What's happening? What's going on? And then, one person who recently came, I think just he heard a class of Srila Prabhupada. That's all. He recently came. And then he heard in the class, when you are angry, you should chant Hare Krishna. That's what he heard. And then he went to Srila Prabhupada, he tapped him, and then she said, Swamiji, chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You know to whom he said? The person who descended from the spiritual world. To him he said, you chant Hare Krishna. And then you know what happened? Immediately, Srila Prabhupada immediately picked up his page. Then he chanted Hare Krishna. What is his attitude? That's why for them, Krishna is sold out. That's why Krishna always wants to stay them. Tomara hridaye sada Govinda Vishrama, Govinda Kohena Mora, Vaishnava Parana. Narottam Shloka Maharaj is telling, in the heart of this pure devotee is Govinda. He's not telling Paramatma is residing. No, no, Govinda, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is residing in the heart. In everyone's heart, Shirodakasaya Vishnu resides, Paramatma. But in the hearts of the pure devotees, the Shirodakasaya Vishnu is transformed. Govinda resides. Hare Krishna. Because it's been told by our acharyas. Was a fact. So on the pure devotee's heart, who is residing? Govinda residing. Why is Govinda residing? Because of their qualities, because of their attitude, because of their genuinity, because of their selflessness, because of their compassion. That's how they reside. And these are all the qualities of Srimati Radharani. She is the epitome of devotion, dear devotees. Epitome. We cannot fathom, we cannot understand. This is the epitome. That is our life and soul. She has no other business in this world. Hare Krishna. That's how the Lord would reside in their heart. Just see the attitude. Prabhupada, he could have said anything to that person. Nobody would have cared. But see the attitude. Picked up the beats and chanted Hare Krishna. Because they're always in that consciousness. They're always in that mood. They're always giving respect to others. Hare Krishna. And then he chastises also. As a service, he chastises. That doesn't mean that, he's not giving respect. For example, when the spiritual master chastises a disciple, spiritual master is not giving respect. Are foolish. That is actually respect only. That is actually correction is the greatest respect. Otherwise, we are doomed in this world. If nobody is correcting us, we are doomed in this world. If nobody is telling that, we are engrossed, totally engrossed in materialistic sense gratification, that means we are doomed. If nobody is telling that, we are completely away from it. That means we are totally absorbed in that materialistic sense of gratification. Somebody has to tell us. Our superiors have to tell us. Otherwise, that's a disservice. It's a disservice. Now, Maharaj offers obeisance, but he is heavy also. Remember, my Shiksha Guru is very heavy. People are afraid of seeing him in class because he chastises left and right. We are afraid to sit in the class. Oh, he's heavy. And Narasimhadev is heavy. Rips off the anarthas in the class. And then after the class, he says, "Are you okay? Did I cause you an inconvenience? Are you okay? I hope you're okay." That means the spiritual master is what? He's like very strong, like a thunderbolt, but he's also very sensitive, like a lotus petal. So on one side, he's very strong. Now we see Prabhupada. Prabhupada might have been chanted. Prabhupada might have picked up those beats and chanting Hare Krishna, but he would have smashed everyone left and right. Because his thunder was the state of a pure soul. It's a state. Now, when Srimati Radharani, she manifested as a material energy, as Durga Devi, she is like a thunderbolt. She has a trident. Trident is like Sattoguna, Rajoguna, Tamaguna. Whoever is sinful, she would devour them brutally. Because that's also a way to connect them, to pull them closer to the process. Why the hellish planets are there? To help those souls correct themselves, to uplift, because they have committed sinful activity. They should suffer for that. Because through that suffering, they will learn, they will understand, just like a mother is teaching the lesson to the child. If the child is not being trained up rightly, if the mother is not training him up, she might beat him also. That is required for the child. Otherwise, cops will beat him when he becomes old, if he is not corrected now. If the mother is not beating the child during his early days, cops will beat him brutally. You know why? Why children, why adults become, they deviate? Because they're not properly trained when they're child. Why they commit sinful activities? It is not the, he is not the problem. His parents are the problem. Now I'll tell an example. One time, she's a stepmother, and then the child, he robs some vegetables from the farm. And then he tells his mother, mother, I robbed these vegetables. Take these vegetables. And then mother started appreciating him. Mother started telling, oh, you did great, you did great, you did great. Encouraging him, asking him to do that again and again. And then that person became a thief. He became a criminal once he is grown up. Because he has all bad habits. Because his mother was also kind of facilitating those things. He grown up. When he was almost about to be sentenced to death. Then he says, what is your final request? Then he says, bring my mother. I want to talk to her. And then he's about to tell her in her ear. He brutally, what he does? He cuts off her ear. And then police was asking, what did you do? You're almost about to die. What did you do? She's your mother. And then he said one thing. If my mother would have chastised me when I was a child, I wouldn't have been in this position or situation. So corrections are required, dear devotees. If there are no corrections, there's no progress. There's no progress. That's not just for children, it's for us. Corrections are required. Hare Krishna. I would like to stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Any questions? Any comments? Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. I also heard about the same points about today that Maharaj says about different ways we approach. So seeing good in others, only seeing good in others, and inflating and focusing on the good. There are others who sees good and bad, because as teachers they have to see them, and then inflates the good. And then there are who sees both good and bad but inflates the bad, and then there are who only sees bad in others and inflates the bad. And one example, like the many wonderful examples you said today, is how Krishna, he saw Putana as a mother because she gave milk to him. He did not see that there was poison or anything. He then uh, gave her the role of a mother in Goloka Vrindavan. So it's very difficult to reach that stage, but at least we should, even if we see bad, we should focus on the good. And as a teacher, like you said, try to help them get over the bad. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Actually, you know what? How difficult it is to train a person, because all our life we practice in such a way that we should always see good. That's how we are trained. But all of a sudden, now when received a service that you do preaching, that you help the devotees. You know how difficult it is to see the problems. I remember my Shiksha Guru telling on this. All my life, I practiced in such a way that to always find good in others. But now they kept me in this situation, and it is very difficult for me because I know I shouldn't focus. But if I don't focus on their bad, then it is problem for them because they cannot advance. And then for that, in to tell that there is bad, he gives so much relationship before that. I remember His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj when the first time when he is giving initiations in Chowpatty temple, there was a few hundred devotees to receive initiations from him. That's the first time. He was milking the cows in New Vrindavan. He'd been sent that no, you should come here, you should. All of a sudden he said you should sit here and then you should give initiations. He didn't know anything about that. And then when the first rounds of initiation in the morning hours was completed, then he goes and then meets his god brother. And then he's telling his god brother that what's going on here? I was simply milking my cows. I was taking care of them. I was taking care of Radha Vrindavan Nath. Those are the deities where Maharaj worshipped. Radha Shri Radha Vrindavan Nath. They're there in New Vrindavan. So he was worshipping the Radha Vrindavan Nath, very beautiful deities. And he says that all of a sudden, no, I'm supposed to give initiation. What is this? And then he says, I cannot do this. How can I do this? Just see, dear devotees. Why am I telling this is? They're ready to do anything. You see, through the life of Srila Prabhupada, all these pure devotees, ready to do anything in their life. Anything. They can take any blames. They can be put, if they're kept in a difficult situation, they are ready to embrace that. How is all these things manifesting? How are all these things manifesting? They're all manifesting because they do not have any other, they have nothing in their life, dear devotees, other than to please Srila Prabhupada. Just like what Srila Prabhupada had nothing in his life other than to please the spiritual master. No, we should have nothing else in our life other than to please our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, our superiors. We shouldn't have anything in our life. If we have anything in our life, that means we are mixing sand and sweet rice. If I mix sand and sweet rice, will you eat? Will you eat, Prabhu? We will not eat. We cannot eat. That we cannot take that. So likewise, when this attitude comes, then we are, oh, this is a shelter actually. Then everything will manifest. The surrender will come, accepting the process will come, everything will come. Arjuna, for Arjuna, it's only 15 minutes. But for the conditioned soul, it might take 1 lifetime, 2 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes, or a few years, or few months, or few days, or one class. One class is also enough. I remember a spiritual master telling, Shiksha Guru is telling, one class is enough to become a devotee. Now see, after so many years of the service, where are they? What is their heart? On these days, this is what actually we should meditate. क्या कर रहे हैं अपन? What are we doing in our life? Aspire for that. Radhashtami. Beautiful day. All the festivals which I spent at New Vrindavan, I'm just remembering, recollecting those memories. relishable experiences, reflections. I remember, I'll tell one thing. One of my, I don't know how many of you know, but one of my instructor before I met my Shiksha Guru. So he told a very beautiful thing. This wasn't the day of Radhashtami. He had like severe problem. His tooth was severe, had so much problem. That entire day he was actually suffering with that problem. And then just generally how it happens at New Vrindavan is the evening Narti, devotees become wild. They jam, they dance up and down. It's wild. They become wild. And then he was also like that. He was so happy, he was joyful, and then he was chanting, he was so absorbed in the process, and in that he forgot that he had a problem. He forgot that he had a problem. And then the problem was gone. And then after that, he took prasad, everything, and then they started discussing about the glories of Srimati Radharani. And then after that, again, the problem came. After that, the problem manifested again. So, devotees, they share so many experiences on these days, on the day of Janmashtami, on the day of Radhashtami, on the day of Srila Prabhupada Appearance Day. They have a lot of experiences. These experiences, what happens is, these experiences will actually take them forward. This is what we need to aspire in our life. Seeing good in others is very important. It's only as a service. If somebody is trying to seeing, especially our trainers, if they're seeing some faults in us, that's only to help us. It's no other motive. It's not to put one down. It's not to say that this is incorrect. The only intention is this, to help, to move forward in Krishna consciousness. That is the whole point of these discussions. Hare Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Amshiras Prabhu, for bringing that up. Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to add? Would like to share? Any reflections?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Prabhuji, thank you so very much for a beautiful message on Radhashtami, Srimati Radharani, the mood, beautifully explained um, the purpose of the festival, on how the mood of Srimati Radharani is, how Krishna wanted to, how he descended here, the exactly same as spiritual world. Beautifully explained, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
And thank you for sharing the message from your instructing spiritual master, preaching very, it's very hard to accept. Yeah, all along, now that I think it's preaching is very, 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 very tough. But if it is followed, if that service is coming or given by the spiritual master, because he knows in which consciousness we are, then it'll be it's all connecting to them, right, Prabhuji? So it would be easy. Otherwise, if the service is taken by us own, then it's like No, it's not at all a valid service at that point. It should be given.
That's true, actually.
Yes.
Yesterday also devotee was asking, वो बहुत दिन से preaching कर सकते हैं ना? Then I said, the service has to be given. Somebody has to give. We might have a desire, but our superior should tell us, you do this service. So many devotees, they're sold out to their superior masters, their spiritual masters, they're sold out actually. They have nothing in their life other than to please them. This is the attitude. This attitude pleases Srimati Radharani so much because she carries the same thing. She has nothing else other than to please the Lord. I request devotees, if you have time, please hear what we discussed today. It's important. So, today's discussion is very, very important because it shows the mood of our Acharya. It shows the mood of Srimati Radharani. If you have time, please hear this again. Because what Shravana will do is, Shravana will actually help us to attain that state. We don't have to do any tapasya in this material, in this life. We cannot do, actually in Kali Yuga, there is no tapasya. There is no conception of tapasya. Because Kali means Kali. Short life, everything is short. So much trouble with the anarthas. It's a very short period. If this short period is done carefully, then ticket to the spiritual world is open. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed in this very life. That's what we discussed right at the beginning of our conversation. We should always aspire for this state. Prabhupada said, nobody aspires to go home back to Godhead. Nobody aspires. But we should aspire. Should aspire. Yes, we want to go to the spiritual world. But that slowly, we need to make some changes in our life, for sure. Simple living, high thinking should come. One should leave all this propaganda of having this, having that, big things, buying that, buying this. These are all foolish things, foolishness actually. Is it not foolishness? I always think about this. This is really foolish because we don't know how many days we will live. We don't know what kind of things would happen in our life. We don't know how our body would react. We don't know how our body would change. We don't know none of these things. And on the other side, we try to make so many plans in this world. Let me have this, let me have that. So many plans in this world. And then on one side, Srimati Radharani and their associates, they're telling us that's bad, that's poison. You know how bad they will feel in their heart? You know how much trouble we are giving to them? A lot of trouble. Mishra state is a difficult state actually. Very difficult state. Very, very difficult. Hare Krishna. I'd like to stop here. Thank you all very much. If I caused any inconvenience, please excuse me. But today is a festive day. Please be happy, joyful. Practice this process. Please take this code to the heart. We don't know how many days we will live in this world. We have no idea. There's no guarantee in this world. Today is the day we should be sincere. Today is the day we should aspire for that consciousness. This is our life and soul. This we need to meditate. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Let's see if anyone would like to add anything. Otherwise,